Hello. Today's video is about how people re-victimize survivors of narcissistic abuse. In my experience, as well as the experiences of other people who I've spoke with, I've noticed a very common phenomenon: society's invalidation and even gaslighting of victims of narcissistic abuse. Possibly the most clear example of this in my life came from my high school guidance counselor. I went to her trying to find some way to get along with my narcissistic mother. Not only was I not helped, I was hurt in the process. One day I told her about what I called my mother's lectures, and this was where she would scream at me, telling me how terrible I was, and how other people were talking about me behind my back because of how terrible I was, and even accusing me of things I hadn't done. The counselor's response: "Oh, that doesn't sound so bad." Now, if you've experienced something similar from someone you told about your history of abuse, you know how painful this experience can be. It can just catch you off guard, especially when it comes from someone you care about or expect to care about you, such as a therapist or like my high school guidance counselor. If you haven't had the pleasure of this experience, chances are you will at some point. In any case, when someone acts as I'm going to describe, you need to remember they clearly have a problem. You are not the problem. Some people blame victims for making the abuser act as they have. Now, common sense should dictate that anyone who does this has their own issues. No one can make someone abuse them. Don't accept this person's blame for your abuser hurting you. All blame for the abuse lies squarely on the shoulders of the abuser, period. Some people also like to blame the victim for not getting away from their abuser sooner. Many people don't understand the concept of the trauma bond, which is how a victim can form a strong bond to their abuser. They also don't understand that a lot of abusers financially abuse their victims. They leave them with no money or no means to earn money so they can escape. Furthermore, they also fail to understand how many abusers have beaten their victims down so badly emotionally that victims don't think they can survive without the abuser. There's also some people that make the victim feel the blame for not being able to get along with the abuser. I think it was probably 5-6 years ago by now, something like that. One of my aunts told me I needed to get into therapy and figure out how to get along with my parents. And she even said, "Don't you dare tell me it won't work." I told her that I did that when I was only 17. And what I learned is not one person can make a relationship work. It takes two. I still stand by that today. No relationship can be healthy if only one person works on it. People don't seem to realize that, and they're just downright foolish for that. Some people also assume they know best what the abuser's intentions are, and they assume they have good intentions but misguided actions. Now, someone defends your abuser by saying things like, "He didn't mean to hurt you. She just doesn't know any better." Well, that's just how he is. This person is invalidating and gaslighting you. No truly innocent person hurts people repeatedly, especially after being called out on their behavior. Some people push victims to heal quickly. Only the most toxic person would dare to trivialize a victim's horrific experiences and tell a victim of abuse to get over it, accuse a victim of being codependent, or fail to understand why that person hasn't forgiven and forgotten. Healing is a very, very individual path. Everyone's path is very unique. Also, every narcissist is unique. So naturally, how they abuse their victims is different. It's only natural to assume that no two victims are ever going to heal the same way. And many victims are going to have to work on their healing for a very long time, possibly their entire lives. People who treat victims like I described in this video are further abusing victims rather than helping them. If you come across people like this, stay away from them. Instead, deal with people who possess empathy and kindness, who aren't judgmental know-it-alls who know they assume your situation even better than you do. Thank you for watching my video.